only one college undergraduate. Civil status, about 8 of them are married, 6 of them are single, 5 of them are practicing live-in. Hello, marinig boses ko po.
Yes, continue. We can hear
Yes.
you.
Okay. Live practicing live-in, 5 of them, and 2 of them are separated, and 1 is widow. The ethnicity of these respondents, about 11 of them are Bisaya, 3 of them are Cebuano, 2 of them unknown, 1 Tansog, 1 Muslim, 1 Magindanaoan, 1 Janga, 1 Ilocano, and 1 Bicolan. Religion of these respondents, majority of them, about 18, are Catholics. 3 of them are Islam, and 1 others, maybe. Person history. So, reasons for incarceration of the detainees: illegal drug dealer, about 8 of them, others 4, drug dealer and user 4, drug user 3, and murder 1. For the length of imprisonment, less than 12 months, only 1, ranging 1 month to less than 12 months, about the majority of them, 18 counts, and 1 to 29 days, 3 of the respondents. The sleeping area of these detainees, we have your environment. So about 21 of the respondents sleep on the floor and 1 sleep on what we call a panig. For the cleaning schedules of the female detainees, uh, 11 of them mentioned they clean at least 3 times a day, 7 of them twice, and 4 of them at least 4 times. Next, Kenneth. Nagbalik siya. For the health profile, gravidity of the female detainees, multigravida 11, primparous 7, and nulliparous 4. 18 of the detainees mentioned that they are active, and 4 of them mentioned that they are now in menopausal stage. Also, the majority of them um, did practice multiple partner. 5 of them unknown, and 5 of them are um, loyal. For the socioeconomic status, 13 of them are self-employed, 5 of them are unemployed, 3 of them mentioned that they are employed contractual. So these are the symptoms experienced by the detainees for the last 3 months. So as you can see, the majority experience are the obosipon, about 13 of them, pananakit ng likod, 8 of them, pananakit ng tiyan, 6 of them, fever, panlalabo ng mata, sweating at night, um, 6 of them. These are the list. And I would like to emphasize also the pagtatae, 5 of them. Nahihirapan pagbawas, also 3 of them. And rashes, about 1. Next slide, please. So for medical illness diagnosed by a doctor, so you have three of them: hypertension, arthritis, and asthma, 2 counts; mental illness, skin diseases, allergic rhinitis, cancer, tuberculosis, diabetes mellitus, 1 count. For illnesses from family history, so you have hypertension and asthma, 6 count; from diabetes mellitus, 4; cancer, 2; arthritis, heart diseases, mental illnesses, allergic rhinitis, liver diseases, 1 count. Of course, hindi mawawala yung vices of the detainees. So you have alcohol, about 10 of them; illegal drugs, 9 of them; smoking, 6 of them. So illegal drugs, of course, most of them, the reason why they are imprisoned are the cause of illegal drugs. Next slide, please. For primary help assistance of detainees, you have traditional healer or the albularyo, hospital, private clinic, 4; health center, 4; herbal medicine, 3; self-medication, 3. Health-related needs of the detainees. Healthcare providers, you have 16; medical supplies, you have 16; health monitoring, you have 15; health teaching, which is one of the very most important advocacy, 13 counts. Continuation needed service by the detainees. Economic, 17; food variety, 16; enough water supply, 15; and comfortable and adequate living environment, 15. Next agenda is the problem list. 3 out of 22 respondents clinically diagnosed with hypertension. 5 out of 22 experienced angina. 2 out of 22 respondents reported to have asthma. 6 reported experienced stomach aches. 10 out of 22 respondents reported to have issues on urinating and excreting. Um, 13 out of 22 respondents reported to have coughs and colds. 8 said that they are experiencing back pain. Also, 6 out of 22 reported that they sweat a lot all night. And 22 out of 22 report that at least 30 detainees are placed per jail cell. And 2 reported to have skin diseases, so they are always thirsty. 6 out of 22 reported to show signs of poor nourishment, such as weight loss. Out of 22 respondents, also 6 of them are smokers, 6 of them are alcohol drinkers, and out of 22, 7 are illegal drug users, and out of 22, 9 of them either go to traditional healer or self-medicate when they have symptoms. And out of 22, 18 does not recognize government health programs. So presented this slide is the problem matrix. In hypertension, the nature of problem is 1. The magnitude is 0.75. Modifiability of the problem is 2.67. Social concern is 1. Total of 5.4. So we rank it 6. As you notice, health concerns in magnitude are scored 0.75. They are uniform. So in chest pain, nature of the problem is 0.33. In asthma, also 1. In stomach aches, you have 1. And Urinary and bowel issues, you have one. Respondents reported to have coughs, also 0.33. In magnitude, um, stomach aches and urinary bowels issue are 1.5, and um, coughs and colds have um, the highest magnitude, which is
Down one.
2.25. Basing on the
Score.
data,
Proceed.
okay, 2.25, which is the highest because we base it on the number of the respondents, total of respondents. So the rank, 10 out of 22 reported to have um, urinary and bowel issues. So we rank it 2. I guess the rank down time proceed because it's too long. So you have 2, um, 13 out of 22 reported to have coughs and colds. You have ranked as 3. 6 out of 12 experienced stomach aches, ranked as 4th. Tapos you have 2, which is the asthma and hypertension, ranked 6th place, and experienced chest pain is 8th. Next slide, please. Um, Number 1, rank 1 is the back pain, and also you have detainees reported at least 30 detainees placed per jail cell, also ranked 1. But what we emphasize is the skin disease rashes and um, always experiencing thirsty, which is also we ranked it 1. Next. So also for smokers, we rank it as 10th place. 6 are alcohol drinkers. 9, same with your 7 respondents are illegal drug users. Ninth place, and also 9 out of 22 respondents
Nawala siya?
Nawala pa ata.
Okay, anybody from the group can continue. Anyone from the group can continue because your time also continue.
Yeah, your time is running.
The time is running.
Wait lang, Dok.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay po, sige Doc, wait. Let's continue na lang po.
Yeah, you have to continue because if
Hello?
your time, you
Apo.
have to stop if you reach already the 30 minutes time allotted for you.
Yes po.
We will end by 8:53.
Hello, Ken? Oh no. I think my
Wala,
group
next na.
mates are... wait lang.
Anyone from the group can actually continue.
Yes po.
Makita siya.
I can't see, hindi ko makita yung update sa screen po.
Ah,
Ayan.
bakit kaya? Wait lang ah.
Okay, sige yun na lang. Okay, let's go. Let's go over this na lang po. So, for the scoring for the magnitude of the problem, it was based on a number of affected respondents revealed from the data given to us. So, we actually ranked the the skin diseases, rashes, and thirst, and 30 detainees per jail cell as number one, because we actually based it on the perceived needs of the people as well. So also the magnitude would reveal the people most affected of it. So it's based on the percentage. So okay, please next slide. Hello.
Continue.
Next slide po. Hello, Ken. Okay.
Makita siya.
Apa, thank you. So for the modifiability, those that got the highest scores were skin disease, rashes, thirst, and back pain and congestion. This was based actually on how it would be vulnerable to change, and based from and relatively compared to the other problems that we stated in the problem list, these were actually the most vulnerable to change, as if we could implement changes to their system, these would actually change easily, or more, yeah, easier than the others would be. Next, please. Causes. The causes would be the lack of infrastructure planning and development, which they wouldn't really have that water supply to the system that would be appropriate for clean water supply in their community. Also, insufficient water use practices and awareness of dangers, inappropriate water rationing system, increasing number of female inmates, and etc. And the main problem would be the shortage in supply of clean and potable water, which would then lead to severe or chronic illnesses such as diarrhea, hunger and dehydration, limit of productivity, unable to practice personal hygiene. Next, please. These are the this is what how we categorized it. So for the health sector, these are what could be acted upon by the health sector. Like for example, inadequate access to food and water supply, these would be um, altered or be aided to be altered by the health sector. And for the other sectors such as the government and whatnot, it would be the inefficient allocation of people per quarters and etc. Okay, for short-term causes, or these would be short-term na pwede natin ma-address, it would be inaccessible basic needs, inefficient allocation of people per quarters, and for the long term, it would be no budget support, inadequate access to food and water supply, and etc. Please, next, please. So for our objective 3, we would have community involvement, information and educational campaigns for the detainees and etc. and increased budgetary allotment from government. And then they should lead to more infrastructure planning and development, capacitation on proper water conservation measures, create more sources of funds, then these would lead to adequate supply of clean and potable water, and then eventually the life quality would improve. This would be our health action plan. So the objectives first would be to address the insufficient water use practices and I wait. Okay. Oh yeah, and an awareness of dangers. And these would be the activities such as planning, that would be done by the students, and the survey for the detainees addressing the prevalence of the common side effects of inadequate and contaminated water supply. Then the data would be collated. Seminars will be held then. Next, please. Um, Moreover, then after the previous activity, that the water system would be reviewed, then this would actually refer to addressing the lack of infrastructure planning and development of the water system. So the next, after that, we would meet with the responsible authorities to pursue approval of program proposal, and then assess financial and logistical resources and see through the implementation of the infrastructure improvement. So the people, okay, see you. Lesson plan. So the goal would be to that they will be able to amplify their understanding and awareness in health related aspects, addressing the hygiene and habitat in prisons by the international community of the Red Cross. Okay, next, please. Sorry. For the lesson plan, our objectives would be to educate the community about the common diseases, and the content would be to enumerate and discuss what would be related to the hazards of inappropriate or inadequate water supply. Then method would be lecture and video presentation, and the resources needed would be projector, laptop, and etc. And the assessment of how we could um, evaluate the people would be through survey. And then we would discuss the importance of conserving water, sanitation, and hygiene as well. And yeah, please next. For the introduction, this is actually the less health lesson plan. Wait. And for the introduction, the topics would be what are the common diseases, and we would actually name them. And then the framework of the body would be the signs and symptoms and of the above, and how to avoid these conditions, and how these conditions can be contracted. And the conclusion, we would let them realize the importance of knowing these common diseases and how they could actually implement them in their daily lives.
Okay, so for
Can you
common diseases,
unmute again? Okay, continue.
for first objective, which is common diseases, other framework for body, signs and symptoms above mentioned condition first. For example, in the stomach ache, for example, in stomach ache, for example, most commonly is abdominal pain or cramping, or it could be that other factors such as constipation, nausea and vomiting, fever or bloating. And then how to avoid these conditions. For example, in the case of diarrhea, we can avoid this in having a hygiene tips. First, always wash your hands before you eat and after, and then keep your food clean always, and then keep all potentially contaminated foods such as uncooked meats away from other foods. Now, how this condition can be contracted? In the case, for example, of these cough and colds, this can be direct contact with infected secretions from contaminated surfaces. So, in conclusion, with the first objective, which is common diseases, we will be let them to realize the importance of knowing these common diseases. So methods of delivery here would be lecture and presentation with this part. Then time allotted would be 20 minutes and introduction. Body would be 20 minutes, conclusion 15 minutes. Next, objective would be about importance of conserving water, sanitation, and hygiene. For introduction, topics included here will be more on defining conserving water, sanitation, and hygiene, and of course, the importance of above mentioned in our daily living. For framework or body, proper health management, of course, by the following good hygiene basics. Always wash your hands properly and then keep your place clean always. And of course, eat healthy foods. In conclusion, of course, the summary emphasizing the importance of good hygiene basics, methods of delivery, of course, lecture and PowerPoint presentation. For time